experiencing reality as you've never experienced it before. It'll be like waking up from a dream. It'll be like gaining 4 additional senses. I mean, science doesn't count the sense of magnetism, this energetic sense. So that's a 6th sense right there. And then you also have a mental sense. That's a 7th sense. How many more that we have? I have no idea. I see lights in my mind. That has to be another sense. So there's an 8th sense. When you see pictures and images in your mind, is not the same as when you feel another person's feelings. So that's another sense. How many senses? That's 8 senses. So when you return to your equilibrating center, you're evolving in such a drastic and beautiful way. It's a shame that you can't express this to people. It's a very solitary life if you choose this path, right now at least. Because you will begin to feel as if you're walking around as the ghost of Christmas past. As if this is just like some crazy dream and everybody doesn't realize that they're dreaming. But you won't really care. Someone said, "What is God?" Well, that's nothing that can be known conceptually, of course. Because God created understanding. God created wisdom. So God is beyond wisdom. God is beyond understanding. But what I do know is that you cannot separate you and God. It's impossible to separate you from God. It's like a string of pearls. All down the string of pearls there is a pearl. And that's that equilibrating center, that awareness, that gift of existence. Who created the world which surrounds us? I'm telling you, the equilibrating center, it radiates energy around it. You radiate energy around you in the form of the flower of life, the Merkaba, the star tetrahedron. You're radiating this energy, and it's creating your form. You're contracting and expanding. All your atoms are waves of potential, you see? So the gravitation of the spin of the center of the planet is creating these collapsing and contracting, collapsing and forming waves which become your body. And that is God. That is creation. Creation is not a set thing that happened in the past. Creation happens each moment. Solar systems come from this equilibrating center, like I'm saying. Okay, imagine, like I was saying, a pearl necklace stretching all the way from the center of the earth to the center of the galaxy. All right, and on this pearl necklace, so you have planets, you have stars, you have whatever, and you zoom in on these pearl necklaces and you see smaller 2-dimensional things, cells and all this stuff. So on each strand of this pearl necklace, there is form separated by energy. Okay? So the strand represents the connection, the gravitational pull from the center of the earth to the center of the galaxy. And so energy is being sucked in everywhere. It's like drain pipes draining water down. Is the center, the gravitational equilibrating center of the core of everything, of humans, of earth, of everything, sucking energy down from space itself in geometric patterns, creating everything around us, creating spaces for existence. So God is everything and everywhere. It's said in the Bible that God would not let Moses see his form. God told Moses, "You can only see my backside." So likewise, we can't see the invisible Creator, but we can see his backside, the forms, the sheet of energy hanging over nothingness, creating this illusion of a space to exist. Like a big holodeck. It's important. Try to do this. Just imagine that the world around you is pulsing that it's shimmering with energy, that it's moving, that it's not stagnant but pulsing like veins. And each point in space is sucking energy to it and through it, into the space below it, into the dimension below it. Energy falls from the higher dimensions down through these black holes to smaller dimensions. And as the energy flows through it, it pushes back up against itself, expanding and contracting, creating the illusion of forms by contracting pure potential in the form of waves, these quantum waves, collapsing them with this energy, with awareness, with intelligence. That means every last space is intelligent. Where did God come from? That's the thing. God is the source of all things. You can't say where did God come from because there is no set beginning. God said, I'm the Alpha and the Omega, meaning I'm the beginning and the end. But really that's not a truth because there can be no Alpha or Omega. There is no beginning or no end. There's only now. Okay, so reality didn't come from anywhere. It comes every moment. You can't have a beginning of the universe. Because if you would have had, as Alan Watts said, if you would have had a beginning of the universe, it would have come in a now moment. So the universe would have been created in now. Even if it would have been in the past, it would have been created now. So who made God? God is. Everything is God. Everything emanates from God. This equilibrating center, this black hole of awareness. Everything is God, Tariq. I'm saying creation didn't happen in the past. Creation happens each moment from every direction. And that is exactly what it says in the Bible. It says God is everywhere. God is as space. God is space. How about that? Heaven and hell, there's higher dimensions. In my opinion, this is hell. But you know, you can believe what you want, but heaven, absolutely. Higher dimensions, beyond a doubt in my mind that there are. I've experienced them. I've seen beings from them. Beyond a doubt in my mind that heaven and hell is real. Or that heaven is real, at least. I don't know about hell. But, Tariq, you gotta get off of this idea that God is separate from you. This is something that's been implanted in your head by culture. It's something that disempowers you. It's based on lies and superstition. It has no evidence behind it. Because even these people themselves who say that God is outside of us, they say that God is everywhere and everything. So then, how can He be everything and everywhere? Who gives spirit to the baby in mother's womb? The spirit emanates. This is what I'm saying. Every point of space is God. Every point of space is awareness. Imagine, I know that space looks empty, right? It looks empty like there's nothing there. Imagine it like an ocean. The fish in the ocean can't see the water, okay? But there is still water there. And when you pull a fish out of the water, they can experience that they were in water. But when they're in water their whole life, they don't realize water is there. They just take it for granted. Likewise, we think that air is empty, but it's not. Air is just like water. It's like an ocean, okay? So every point of the air, of the space, is awareness. Our awareness is not limited to our body. Our awareness extends out in all directions. And when it clumps together, it forms a person. But as you go past the boundaries of the person's body, it just becomes another form of awareness, which is space. So form defines the space. And form is space. Right. Okay. Okay. Space is like an ocean, right? We don't see the subtle layers of it. We can't see, atoms, for example. We can't see atoms. So they look invisible. But in reality, there's a sea of atomic level activity happening in space. And we are that also. Our body is a projection of space.